Morning, folks. Alright, check this out. So, I try not to bring Sunday morning coffee to the table right now unless I've got some relevance. A lot has really gone on in the world since my last Sunday morning coffee. A lot of big changes on their way for the shop, ready or not. We'll kind of run down some stuff. I'm going to touch briefly with our political system. Yep, there it is. I touched briefly on it. I'm not saying anything good or bad or anything else. Just, we had an election. There will be changes. I don't know anything past that. So I got some fairly big news this week, and I don't know which side of the knife edge it's going to fall, good or bad. It does bring me to a point I've got to kind of look at the shop model. I actually have sort of a model that we've been attenuated toward as of late. The crew itself and the future of what we've got going on. I kind of tip hats on the project at hand. This is a lot of what we're dealing with in the shop model. A lot of work we're getting in now is custom work, restorative work. We're doing a large volume of used car lot stuff. And we still do a fair amount. It's good cash flow. I just don't take on any structural repairs on modern automobiles because we're not equipped or educated to do so. My model has been, since I've taken the time to stop, evaluate what's going on and pursue it. One, we want to pursue more artisan geared projects. When you're pursuing something on an artisan level, running 60, 70, 8 hours a week isn't okay. You lose a lot in that process. You lose a lot in translation past 50 hours. The shop has been running historically, and will, since I decided to reboot my model. We discussed that some time ago. Plan A is use people, get the shop caught up where it needs to be, set up at a point where I'm caught up and I can run a project at a time after the course of going through people. Going through people, the byproduct could be I build a team. And I'm satisfied right now that I'm building a pretty damn decent team. So that's kind of not small news. That's a big deal. I've got a good group of guys. I got to sit down and look over numbers, projects, incoming, outgoing, so forth. Because I actually have good people that have skill sets finding me, hitting me up. And that's not a knock on Aaron, Mike, or Bruce, respectively. They've been there. Aaron's been there almost a year, Mike's been there a few months, and Bruce started 2 weeks ago. Next Monday will be his third week starting. It's not a knock on any of those guys. They're competent where they're at in the shop structure. They're still based around a helper circumstance. That's kind of where we're at, just fact of matter. So we've been running the big hours of 35 hours a week. That way when something comes up we have to turn up the wick, 40, 45 hours is It's easy. It's not a big strain. You got to rearrange some of your personal schedule in the evenings, but the guys are dedicated and want it, and all these guys do and are rearrange things seamlessly. We're not asking 60, 70, 80 hours a week out of anybody, 50 hours a week even. We're able to turn up the wick, gain productivity, and not lose precision. We just did one project, a tow rig, and the guys, I told them all, they bucked up. They proved to me they could do it. We were under crunch. The project would impose a penalty if it were late, which I knew we weren't going to be late, so I just rolled with it. But when it comes down to 0 hour, it does get a little nerve-wracking. The model right now is we take on 1 or 2 small projects a week, or a medium project every couple weeks, something for cash flow. And then the stuff that's there already, we got a backlog that could take the next year with who we have in the shop to get through. A year plus to get through the backlog. That's a suicide note waiting to happen is what that is. I know that. I put myself in the predicament. The road crew, as I fondly refer to the guys in homage to our good friend Lemmy, they're pulling it through. They're doing well. So now we throw in there this shop model, as it's been utilized to a pretty full extent for the last couple of months, is now obsolete. Why? Because of the big news. I got a call Wednesday, the property owner there. His father's coming back into town and wants his toy box back, essentially. The shop space we inhabit, it was his dad's toy box before he left town. And we've got a tall order and a short amount of time to fulfill that order. I've got eyes and boots everywhere in this town foraging, from real estate guys to just your average blue-collar hard asses like me, looking around for properties to move. I'm very disgruntled. I wasn't ready for this move. I wanted to make this move next year around the good guys, which would be 4th of July, because we're dead in the fucking water. We're making no money from late June to mid-August. I mean, we make money, but last year we used that time to roll over a couple long-term projects and get them done. I wanted to plan a move for that time of year. It's nice out, we could hit the ground, reestablish. Well, now I have to remodel everything we're doing. What I had at the time, minimal overhead, it was simple. We were making gains every week, and pretty substantial gains. I ran 4 years as a professional hobbyist. The last 6 months of that was organizing and establishing whether I'm moving forward, folding up, or legitimizing all the gains and getting big. Not big like Boyd Coddington or anything crazy like that. We're not there. We're not there yet. I don't want to be there either. But to a point, we establish ourselves as a serious player on the scene. Well, we're still in the minors as far as customs, classics, hot rods. We're still in the minors, but we're getting the establishment there. We're doing a project here or there just for a feather in the cap, and we're making our way. But finding out we got to move, I have to step back and reestablish the whole model, because our overhead will significantly increase, which means we have to produce more and we have to branch out revenue streams So I got to take a long, hard look at that today and tomorrow, and really reestablish goals, terms, and I can't really remodel what we've got going on until I find at least 2 or 3 good locations to move to. I've yet to find one, and it may push us out of town. Real estate prices in commercial, light industrial space, they've gone through the roof since I moved in where I'm at. What we have is a Cinderella deal. We'll never see another one like it. So I've got to establish what our future is going to do. Like I said, the boys pushed through a project with some very stringent deadlines, and the fitment, excellent. My finish work was not, I'm not satisfied with it. It could have been better. But the project turned out smashingly. Everybody's happy involved. Even the guy who took a loss on the project because it cost twice as much as he thought to do. This space has been very good to me. It's been very good to my crew. So that's kind of where it's at. We have to reevaluate everything. I don't know what that means for our future. If we get the reform we're being promised politically, it could mean a reform fiscally that would make what we're doing much more plausible. I don't know about that exactly. I've got my misgivings. I've got my concerns about the whole state of the situation. Fact is, we're not going nowhere as far as the business goes, but we have to relocate. So then comes in the ideas or ideals of funding. Bring in a partner, get financing. Financing is going to be a hard sell right now. We're going to have to give it a whirl, though. I'm not really interested in bringing on any manner of partner. You'd have to be the right person with the right money and the right intentions, if that makes sense. I'm going to have to escalate the teaching process for the crew. That's going to get sticky. These guys are absorbing as much information as I can throw at them. And I've been throwing increasing amounts of information at them and skill sets at them. And they're taking it, they're absorbing it. We're going to push harder until we stumble, and then we'll slow down. And that's how it's going to operate. I'm going to have to be a business owner from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And hours outside that window, I have to be self-employed. Go in there and grind, get other things up to where they need to be. We've had splendid results. I've given Mike the bug. He's got it all ready to go. We've troubleshot some issues that we got to deal with. He's doing well. I've given Bruce the 66 El Camino. It's damn near assembled. I wanted my parts list put together and all ordered. I don't have everything ordered, but we're on a good run. So I'll get the rest of everything, whatever I need, ordered up, done Monday, tomorrow. Sort out the rest of the circumstance from that. Yeah. I don't even know where to go from there. That's where we're at. That's what's going on. That's how it's going. I've shot this half a dozen times, trying not to ramble too much. That's kind of our state of affairs. any change is scary, so I've got to embrace this change and make the most of it. The aim and ideal is to get a good working space, a good lock-up outside storage, an office, and frontage. The frontage will be to park projects. We'll pull projects out front, put information on the interwebs. We'll pick up modern cars here and there through auction, go through them, get them back on the market. Essentially, I'll have to pick up a dealer's license. And I gotta start pursuing a couple other veins of revenue wholeheartedly at this point. So the next couple 3 weeks, my hours during the day are going to be strictly business and nothing but. The guys are a good support crew. They can handle it. But we're running out of time. That's disconcerting. But that's where it's at. You know, I'm satisfied with the guys and their growth. I wish I could get more. I wish I could. You know, we're going to push hard. We'll get more. I'll get more out of them. Not hours, just learning, movement forward. Tis what it is, folks. I'm going to get out of here. I'm done. I think that's about all we got. If you want to check out that tow rig we built, custom, go ahead and run over to Smith Welding Restoration on the Facebooks. There's all kinds of pictures. Well, more pictures of the bug forthcoming in the El Camino and other projects. I'll talk to you later.